A shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did?
Whoopi thinks that's pretty much how black folks are treated in America. You absolute disgrace of a human being, Whoopi, to show absolutely no regard for the Iranian women who risk their lives to challenge the Islamist government, to minimize their struggle and compare it to your fever dreams about oppression in America in 2025.
1. Bill Maher recently criticized the Democrats again, saying their policies cost them the last election. He thinks they focus too much on virtue signaling and race, which he says turns people away. Maher dropped some serious truth bombs that are making Democrats very uncomfortable. If you like bold political talk, stick around. And of course, when there's political drama, The View and Whoopi Goldberg are always involved. According to Maher, The View spreads the same woke ideas that hurt the Democrats in the election. So when Maher spoke out, they were among the first to get upset. Let's take a look.
In the Wall Street Journal claims that the shift to the right in this election reveals that Americans view themselves as belonging to a particular economic class more than their race and gender. And Bill Maher said it's not the only thing Democrats got wrong. Take a look.
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person. What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what?
Maher's strong words caused a big meltdown among Democrats and the woke crowd. Many were shocked that Maher, who is actually a traditional liberal, keeps calling out his own side. They didn't expect it and couldn't handle it. Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts on The View quickly fired back, trying to defend themselves. Their response was dramatic and, as usual, out of touch with most people. Instead of having a real conversation, they went straight into outrage mode. Watch what happened.
Racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. They don't want your pity. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
This is why many experts now think Democrats could lose even more in the future. Maher is right. While Americans are struggling with high prices, an unsafe border, and rising crime, Democrats are busy focusing on gender pronouns, renaming streets, and worrying about small offenses on college campuses. They are ignoring the real issues like gas prices, jobs, and national security. Instead of facing these problems, they get upset at anyone who points them out. If Democrats keep choosing ideology over common sense, they won't just lose elections, they could become irrelevant. And the worst part, they still don't seem to understand.
Again, I got my popcorn. I don't know why people did what they did. I see all these reasons, and so, okay, time will tell. But what do y'all think?
I just, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. But it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris.
Maher hopes more people will start moving away from extreme woke ideas and go back to common sense and the middle ground. But The View refuses to change. The hosts stay in their bubble and keep pushing ideas that push away moderate and independent voters. It's like The View is undoing any progress the Democrats have made to improve their image. Now, if you're wondering why Maher made fun of Whoopi, check out this clip where Whoopi says that Iranian women have it just as bad as black people in the U.S.
What do you think of Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran. I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is a great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity. And a second good step would be, we got to do something about The View.
Yes, Whoopi really said that. She actually claimed that women and gay people in Iran are treated the same as they are in the US. This shows just how disconnected she has become. In America, women can drive, own property, dress as they like, vote, run for office, and speak freely without fear. In Iran, women can be beaten in public for not wearing their hijab correctly, and gay people can be tortured or even killed just for existing. Comparing life in America to life in Iran is not only wrong, it's an insult to the brave Iranian women who are fighting real oppression. This is why people are turning away from The View. Now watch as Sky News' Rita Panahi calls out Whoopi for this absurd comparison.
Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today,
I'm sorry,
they
used to just keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say.
Rita Panahi said it perfectly. The woke left is completely out of touch with reality. They build an echo chamber so thick that they can't hear or refuse to hear any opinions that challenge them. They don't listen to facts or even to the people they claim to represent. Instead, they double down on the same failed ideas and blame everyone else when things go wrong. As the saying goes, if you're in a hole, stop digging. But the woke left isn't just digging, they're building tunnels and pretending it's progress. If they don't wake up soon, they'll keep dragging their party and the country into more confusion and chaos.
Yes, Whoopi thinks it's the same. She thinks America and Iran are the same. The human rights abuses are the same. The fact that more than 90 million people are oppressed in Iran, and women doubly so, systematically subjugated by a brutal regime, she thinks that's the same as America. That is the modern left, folks. Dumb, dishonest, and dangerously delusional.
That's exactly how the woke mindset works. It shuts down logic and common sense. They think they're being brave and speaking deep truths, but to most people, they just sound loud, annoying, and completely disconnected from reality. They get high on their own virtue signaling and self-righteousness. They mistake feelings for facts and hashtags for real policy. Instead of having honest debates, they shame and cancel anyone who disagrees with them. This isn't wisdom, it's brainwashing. Until they snap out of it, they will keep driving reasonable people away from the very causes they say they care about.
That's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Not if you're black. Really? So crime happening in America, a black person killing another black person, for example, for which the perpetrator will be punished, is the same in Whoopi's warped mind as the state killing you because you're a minority, because you're gay or an infidel.
Whoopi lives in the United States, a country where freedom of speech is protected. She has the right to criticize the president and speak her mind without fear of punishment. She's done this many times, especially when it comes to former President Trump, and nothing has ever happened to her. But in Iran, speaking out against the government can cost you your life. People can be taken from their homes in the middle of the night, and their families may never see them again. Political dissent in Iran is not a right. It's a death sentence. For Whoopi to compare her freedom in the US to the harsh oppression in Iran is not just wrong, it's deeply disrespectful to those truly suffering. That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this honest commentary, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Let me be clear. The Iranian regime will hang you from a crane in the public square for crimes like blasphemy, witchcraft, homosexuality, and of course, if you dare show any dissent. if you challenge the brutal regime. Whoopi thinks that's pretty much how black folks are treated in America. You absolute disgrace of a human being, Whoopi, to show absolutely no regard for the Iranian women who risk their lives to challenge the Islamist government, to minimize their struggle and compare it to your fever dreams about oppression in America in 2025.